Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin, and this is Live from Beyond. I'm going to be the GM tonight, and everybody else is going to be the players. We're going to be playing the Cypher System game, The Distant Shore. It's a home-brewed game, and this episode hopefully is going to involve a lot of dinosaurs and lasers, maybe just a little bit of spooky psychic powers. So, players, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves? And your characters.
Sounds good. Hello, I'm Nick, and I will be playing Oliver Constantine, the Tukalauan incredibly good spy who's kind of feeling like things are shifting in a weird way. He's not sure what he's looking at anymore. So yeah, see what's going on here.
I'm Aaron, and I'm playing William Pembroke, the erstwhile spy master from Great Britain, who has recently discovered an ability to speak with the dead, which may or may not have survived the crossover to this new and exciting dinosaur-filled world.
I mean, there's dead dinosaurs, right?
There might be. If I could resurrect a dinosaur to ride upon, that would indeed be the greatest of all worlds.
I'm pretty sure they turn to oil as soon as they hit the ground.
Yeah, immediately. Like, boom. Dino oil.
I guess some of them turn into coal, too. I don't really know how it works.
Hey everybody, my name is Alex, and I'm playing Tony Zacapa, a stealth and infiltration expert who is now has set his sights on a different quarry.
Right. Okay, so
Wait,
got one more.
Oh wow!
Yeah, forget about
So the important.
All right, we covered the important people.
Saving the best for last.
Let's just introduce several NPCs and then go to.
Anyways, my name is Kim. I'm playing Mika Reyes, who has gone from, I guess, like kung fu agent to kind of sort of a vampire to some kind of cyborg now. So, see how that goes.
All right. Anybody else? All right.
I mean,
You want to
we could
go
talk
again?
about Gianluigi, but dead.
All right.
So
Is Michael in this game? Wait, no. All right, we're good.
even the audience
he
knows
has some
not to
kind of super ninja character that could just disappear at any moment.
Can
All right.
never be seen.
So, just to catch everybody back up, like you said, this has been a sort of dimension-hopping game. You guys started out in something akin to the real world, where you were spies or secret agents working to, for some kind of shadowy organization.
Yes, just akin to the real world.
Well, it was a little more,
Just like
That's not
that.
what I meant, but all right.
it was very similar to the real world. It may even.
Spies.
What's that?
We're spies.
There's spies in the real world.
We're actually spies.
He's intimating that it was the real world.
Yes.
That this is not, in fact, some kind of role-playing scenario, but us living out our real lives in memory.
'Cause, I mean, what is being a spy really, other than just like getting really into your character?
Yeah. All right. Well, with that thought, we
Moving
will,
right along.
continue.
And you're getting home invaded.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
It's all right.
So,
We'll deal with that
you,
later.
you got a mission to disrupt some kind of deal. When you did, you went on a chase for this, chasing this weird guy, and eventually you wound up in something looked like a hospital room with a guy hooked up to a machine, and then like everything flashed, and you were in another place, and this place was filled with magic and weird people, as kind of like a magical version of World War I or something, and then there were some shenanigans. You continue to chase this guy from the real world. Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
I think it's worth pointing out to the audience that a lot of the stuff we brought with us from the real world started kind of like not working pretty quickly as we were there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, you chased this guy. There was some things that happened in this other land. You went to an occupied city. All these things. Anyways,
Giant pit full of shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Giant world full of shit.
Anyway, so you invaded his citadel, and I think there were some captive raptors which had eaten all of the prisoners inside the occupied prison complex, and then you confronted him, and I believe slew him, and jumped through a portal to another place.
I don't think it was that simple. I thought he turned into
He
three
turned
of
into
himself,
three.
and then we got rid of one or maybe two of them, and then the last one hopped through a portal.
Yeah, I
So
thought there
did
was something not so clean and happy about the way that we had to go through the portal. I can't remember what, but I felt like somebody got injured or something. Something was not quite so just oh yeah, we hop in the portal after him.
I believe it was closing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it may
what
have
was.
been.
It was just about to close on us. Did we have to leave behind the people that were helping us there? Was there
All
somebody-
except for maybe the one druid played by Dave, who may or may not have
right, who
gotten
may
left
or may
behind.
not, have wanted to leave his world because we threw his shit into
He had a good deal anyways, so
Yeah.
why not roll the dice?
Well, I would just like to say,
Mhm.
before we move into this new world, it's also worth pointing out to our audience that, if I'm not mistaken, this is year 3 of Distant Shore. It's been quite a travel, and if any of you poor audience people are nice enough to be on the proud list of people who've actually been watching the Distant Shore for over 2 years, welcome again to our nightmare.
Yeah.
Help we're stuck.
Right. Chat points out that maybe the second world was weird because one of you was a MFing bear.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, no.
Wait, but wasn't the one who was a bear didn't he disappear a bunch?
Yeah.
No, I think he got into a really climactic fight just as we went into what you could almost call a cliffhanger, and then disappeared for the next few hours, but then pretty quickly returned to fight in the Citadel.
That sounds about right.
Sounds
A
about right.
teleporting, disappearing bear.
I mean, we're all teleporting, so
Fuck it, I'm out.
There was something with a whale too. Someone had a stone that was connected to a whale. I don't remember
like a
exactly.
All right,
whale
listen,
for
it might have been the same guy. He might have a thing that lets him float, but only really slowly and in a completely useless way.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
suffice it to say, good riddance, right? Let's move right along.
I'm
Right.
glad that guy is dead.
To be clear, that guy can, for 1 hour, float into the air vertically up to a short distance per round,
Right.
Yeah.
and can take no other actions.
That's the best.
All right.
Sounds really relaxing.
Yeah, actually, kind
Best
of
way
does.
to recover some strain. Get a nice nap. Yeah. All right. So, you guys step through this portal as it's closing behind you. You hear the energy crackling, and you step into this hot, sweaty, seems like a jungle. And in the in the tree line ahead of you, you see the crack of thunder and what appears to be some great 3-horned beast with a large muscular man on its back, stares dimly at you in the thunderlight.
The man or the beast?
Both.
Ah.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Do we transform?
Yeah,
Because I'm
so-
a dinosaur now. No.
I'm a scientist.
I'm a
so-
scientist.
so-
Do
as
my
you step
do my vampire fangs retract and instead now I have a robot arm?
I mean,
So-
I guess he can answer it, but the way I always thought of it from last time was more I thought it was more subtle than that, right? Because we don't just look at each other and be like, "Oh my God, you're no longer Mika Reyes. You're some kind of vampire." It was more there were aspects of us that came out as time went on that were hidden from before.
Yeah.
That,
So
that might be the case
think-
for some of you.
I think the problem is that my new focus is not as subtle.
Yeah.
Well,
that's-
I guess
that's
it could be.
fine.
I guess I could be cybernetic on the inside, and it all looks normal.
It could have a
a Wolverine thing,
yeah, or a Star
I might call
Wars
Wolverine cybernetic.
Star Wars sort of a cybernetic hand that you might not be able to tell is cybernetic until you look at it a little close, and then you're like, oh, all right, I don't have a real hand.
Well,
like
you
that.
tell me, Kim. How jarring and obvious are your cybernetics?
I think they are jarring and obvious.
Okay, yeah. So as
Oliver
you guys
is
look,
immediately jarred by your appearance.
You know, in
so I mean-
there's like a smoke cloud as this portal like finishes up, and as the fog dissipates, and we all like look up at whatever three-horned beast with a rider in the woodline ahead, and Mika kind of like looks down and realizes that her like arms are like plated in some kind of strange metal. And as you guys look at her, you can like see that her eyes like glow like red, as you could like see like the
But they're
electronic.
glowing. I think you said growing. I thought your eyes were just like falling out of your skull.
Like in Total Recall.
No, you can like you see like the reticles like focus as her like cybernetic eyes like.
So I mean, I wasn't quite. I was only half joking. Oliver's pretty jarred by this, and like, not like what the fuck.
I think I'm still wearing like a soldier's uniform or something like that. I don't
yeah.
know.
So exactly. So you guys all still have whatever you had on you, which I assume was some collection of like swords and bows and I don't know
And cloaks and things like
Right.
that. Yeah.
There's a light rain falling. It's like another crash of thunder comes down. So what are you guys doing? Like you're sort of. It's pretty windy here, actually.
So this person riding the dinosaur is just like in front of us.
So as the second crack of thunder happens, you don't see that shape anymore in the tree line.
Okay, fine. So Oliver, like, in bewilderment at what he just saw, turns to speak to his fellows and like stops dead at the sight of Mika Reyes and kind of like takes a couple of steps back.
Yeah.
Oliver,
I
what
guess-
seems to be the matter?
I mean, it just points
Oh,
and
yeah.
stares
I mean,
really rudely.
William turns and like jumps a little bit.
Yeah, Mika like she like puts up her hands. I guess mostly covered in whatever soldier's uniform thing, but the sleeves kind of like roll back a little bit, and you can see at least her like forearms and hands are like entirely clad in some kind of strange metal, and she kind of like clenches her fists and you can kind of like hear servos like wince and articulate inside her arm.
Tony looks at Mika and he's like, "Oh my god. Well, at least now I won't be the only one that carries steel around." And like Tony holds up his shield, and as he does, the shield like cracks in like his tower shield like cracks in like multiple places and just like falls apart into like 100 pieces as he's like standing there like holding the handle of his and he's like looking down. He's like, "Oh, well, looks like one of us will still be the only one carrying metal."
What? Okay.
Say, what is this place?
As
Wait a second. Let's forget about the place for a second, Mika. What the fuck?
well, no. Actually, I rather agree with Mika. As much as I'd love to discuss her bare arms at another juncture,
Wait.
does anyone see that
My
enormous
bare arms?
reptile? The enormous reptile over there.
I like look in that direction. Is it still there?
So yeah, there's just jungle there. Now that your eyes are pointing to a
I saw it. It must have disappeared into the jungle.
I thought I saw it too, and like Tony like inhales in the wind and
Sure.
like well, I'm gonna make if it was real, I'll make it my quarry, Kevin.
Sure. Okay.
And I was like, and I'll try to like get a hint of it, like a either smell or tracks or anything along that line.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, if you wanna search for tracks, you need to like sort of exit the sort of area you're standing in. So you're standing in a clearing, right? It's actually pretty darn circular. You're standing on what looks like a stone dais. that's sort of raised up from like a dirt ground, and then there's maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 feet to the tree line, and in all directions, and you're sort of
Okay, like-
standing there. Yeah.
Almost in the days, like Tony will begin like walking in that direction, right, like away from the center, like kind of like looking up all around, like looking down on the floor, like kind of like trying to discern what this thing is or was, or if it was real or not.
Okay, yeah. So as you're walking, you can see like heading off sort of in a northern direction is what looked like a set of boot prints. Not towards the direction that you were looking, but that you saw this creature was more to the like south.
Say we should try to get our bearings in case we need to come back here.
Do you have like a compass on your arm? No? Alright, I just thought.
Is
Yeah,
there
come
so it's just a clearing completely surrounded by jungle?
Yeah, so actually, give me an intellect test. I would say difficulty like 2.
Oh, what a perfect
So-
time for Kim to remind us how those work.
I was going to say, can we go over the rules for this system?
Right.
I am trained in perception,
Sure, yeah, it's perception.
I think.
So
Right, what
basically,
is
the
it?
way it works. Yeah.
2d6 and we have to roll under something? No.
No. So it's a D20.
Well,
You can yeah. So the way it works is there's I don't know what 6 difficulty levels, 10 difficulty levels. Anyways, everyone is 3 more than the last on a D20. So a
Right.
difficulty 1 test, you have to roll over a 3. Yeah.
I mean, it's not matching in this system, or it is.
I
Like a
didn't
3 or over a 3. I don't recall.
Do you have to
understand.
hit the number, or do you have to exceed the number?
I don't.
I thought you
actually
could
recall
hit
exactly.
in this. I
Hit.
thought you could match in this.
I think you can hit.
Yeah, you can match.
Yeah, so I think you can only fail a difficulty 1 test on a 1 or a 2.
so what,
Right, okay.
what was the difficulty of this?
So it's difficulty 2, so that's you need to get a 6 or more.
And I'm trained,
But you can kind of so you can so you can
trained
sort
in
of
perception, right? So that
you
lowers
you
it
can
by
kinda
down the
argue it down.
steps.
You say like I'm trained in this, so like that should can that lower by 1? And I say, oh. And
And
then
what if
I
you
imagine
hit
that I'm trained in perception, which I imagine would apply here, right? It is if I'm trying to perceive. I think I'll chance it at a roll.
okay, sure.
And if you hit a natural 19 or 20, that's the minor or major effect.
Yeah.
Right.
19.
All right.
I
Well, what are
mean-
your suggestions for minor effects?
Oh wait, I think it's like robot stuff. One second.
Robot
Um,
stuff.
Sounds like it should be.
So, minor effect suggestion. Your servos learn from your successful actions. You gain a +1 bonus to similar actions involving the same task, such as making attacks against the same foe or operating the same. So, I don't know. I guess you can kind of see the reticles in Mika's bionic eyes, like focus and like scan the area. And
Well, so I'll say more than that. I'll say like as Mika steps forward, like you can see her eyes like emit like a scanning like light that like sweeps across the area. Mika, you see like a little like blinking message in your visor that says like area unknown, like beginning mapping protocols.
Self-destruct sequence.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Look, that's all
I don't
great,
know
but
where I am. Blow it
this
all up.
countdown down here at the other side of the reticle is kind of ominous.
Right. So I'll say the strange thing you notice about this area is that though you are surrounded by sort of jungle on all sides, you can't see anything basically in the distance at all. Right. So essentially,
Because of
Doesn't
like a
look-
fog or
no, there's no fog. It's just like you see like the sky in basically every direction beyond like
Are we
these
on?
trees.
Does it seem like
so
we're on
there's,
like an
there's no like
incline?
terrain like hills or mountains or anything like
Nope.
that. It just
Not that you can see.
all right.
Do any of the trees seem to be larger than the others?
Not particularly. No.
Oh,
Wanna
one other
climb one?
question: Are our pools like refreshed?
Yeah. We'll refresh pools.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, let's climb a tree and see what we can see.
Say
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Sure, yeah. I'll say whatever this is, there seems to be some kind of mapping software Let me see if I can get a better vantage point.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll like climb a tree to see if I can see anything.
Oh, you don't just have like Inspector Gadget legs?
Ba-dum.
That's what I have.
Well, so just so we, I'm not sure that we stated it explicitly, but so for the audience, what are everybody's focuses? That we, I mean, actually, let's maybe it's not better not to say it. Maybe it's better to
I don't know.
Well, I'll say mine since it's. I
Fair
guess
enough.
I've.
Okay.
We've seen
You're
mine.
a
So
robot.
I'm now a sharp-eyed soldier who fuses flesh and steel.
Okay. Right. So yeah, we will reveal your foci once it becomes somewhat clear. Once maybe what we're dealing with. Okay. So so what? Someone's climbing a tree. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so I guess
think
I'll
Mika's
climb a tree to try to gather more data for my mapping scan.
Sure. No problem. Okay. So you're just like going to the tree line and climbing up the nearest tree.
Yeah, I'll find a tree that seems climbable and.
Okay.
You find none.
What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna climb a tree faster than him because that's what I roll.
All right. Then I guess Oliver's gonna talk to I don't know. It says Aaron, so I don't remember.
William.
Talk to William. Well, Tony and Mika race climb a tree.
Fair enough.
Sure.
I say
It's a terrible
Yeah.
conversation.
in
correct.
in a thick Tucalayan accent.
No.
I don't
Back
understand.
that train up.
Yes, Oliver?
Oh my god. Just
Got to get back on the horse, Nick.
Wait, where
Yeah,
is
I
that
know,
block?
but-
Let's be fair. There's no way that you could do worse than Kevin's Australian
I
accent.
was just thinking that. Right.
Right.
It's
Let's kill that
simply not
Trandoshan. All right. Anyway,
do worse.
Sorry, I think you're exaggerating how good it was, Nick.
I would agree.
yes, I am. That's right. I'm Oliver Constantine. There we go. That's me. Anyway, Oliver says to William, William, what the fuck? Why is Mika glowing like that?
Well, I don't rightly know, but on the other hand, we did just leave a planet where you turned into a bear, and I was able to summon and animate the corpses of nearby fallen. So,
Yeah, but listen,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as Tony and his damn all of his judging. The judging was so much worse than
Yeah.
me being in a bear and you being a necromancer.
while I will agree that in general I preferred it the least, it was also the most conceptually normal of everything that happened there, excluding perhaps the Whale Dream Pearl, which I thought was a really very comfortable and usual experience.
Did I tell you about that? I probably shouldn't have told you about that. It was a bit personal and weird. But-
Sure.
All right.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yes. All right. Yeah, it's a bit personal, but like I said, that's okay. But again, Mika's glowing, so I mean, I understand that we had some problems in the world with the dragons and raptors and stuff, but since we're here now and Mika's a fucking robot, I think that's a bit of a problem.
Well, has she done anything to cause you concern yet, apart from the glowing and the arms?
Well, I mean, there were those Inspector Gadget legs, but she kind of downplayed those.
That all seems normal. Yes, go ahead.
I'm just saying, let's keep an eye on it. I mean, it's not exactly that it's concerning me because she did anything. It's just, she's a fucking robot, so it's not normal, eh?
No, I agree. By all means, I think we should keep an eye on each other to try to determine what may have changed in our crossing over from the previous world. So, for example, the next time that I find a dead body, we'll see whether I can do anything with it.
All right. It's a bit creepy, isn't it? But I mean,
To each their own. I thought the whale dream was a little bit creepy.
I mean, I can't lie. I've been trying to turn myself into a bear a lot in the last few minutes, and it doesn't seem to be happening, so I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, I'm not a bear, am I?
I didn't want to tell you this, but no, you're not a bear. No, you're
all
not
right.
a bear.
Oh, okay. Get me?
Like, I can't tell whether Tony is judging us. Seems
I mean-
distinctly possible.
I don't know about Tony, but Alex probably is. Probably judging both our accents a lot.
Right. So William, as you look at Oliver, as you like meet his eyes, something kind of strange, grasps you about his gaze. What is it? What is it, Oliver?
I mean, to put it in mild poetic terms, Oliver seems to be kind of like looking through William. Like,
Well,
like
are there any physical signs of this?
yeah, hold on.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. Okay.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So it's kind of like William's like they're chatting, and it's sort of like, yeah, we're normally like, kind of eye contacting, except like Oliver's gaze isn't like quite right. It's like past him, through him, something, and as he like tries to sort of peer into his eyes to look at it, there's a little bit of like a galaxy on Orion's belt effect where he feels like there's like more in there than he would expect to see in the iris of a friend, but he's not like sure what it is. Like staring into a deep pool.
Got lost in the pools of his eyes.
I mean,
Come to think of it, although you're not a bear, there is something odd about you.
Yes.
Are you?
All right.
Are you? I'm up here. My eyes are up here.
Wait, do you have anything interesting besides your eyes for me to look at?
I mean, I
Like
don't know.
that weird third leg growing out of you?
Which direction is the leg growing? Maybe it's a sign.
Backwards, like a helpful tripod. You can
All
just
right.
like relax.
I was going to say the only thing to do is a trust fall.
with your own phantom appendage. All right.
I mean, I assume there's a lot of foliage on the ground and such to keep me from injuring myself.
There's actually not much foliage in the ground here at all.
Really?
Oliver
Just
looks
this-
like concerned that you're saying there's something weird about him, and he's I don't know. He kind of like shakes his head and like looks in your eyes, and you don't really see what you saw anymore.
Well, it's gone now. I don't know what exactly that was. Anyway, I suppose we should poke around down here while our friends are examining the treetops and try to see what we can see.
Right, so you guys
Right.
are gonna look around and see.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Okay, all right. So you, Tony and Mika, like find a tree nearby that seems like maybe slightly taller than the rest. The strange tree. It's almost like a pine tree, but the needles are very soft and it's sort of, I don't know. It's a weird texture. It's a lot spongier than most wood that you would have been familiar with. But it's not too hard to climb. You can sort of clamber up it.
Yeah. I mean, assuming it seems like it would bear the weight, I'll try to.
Yeah, so as you reach the top of the tree, it's pretty easy to see that you're not really actually in a jungle at all. I mean, not really. So basically, there is a ring of sort of dense jungle around you, and around this central point where you've arrived. But just after that, it drops off immediately into basically the top of a mountainous landscape. So you are on like the tippy top of a mountain. And you can sort of see down, over the land, which sort of extends out beyond you. And as you look towards the west, you can see the sun beginning to rise.
Okay. Any
Wait a
signs
minute.
of civilization in any direction?
I guess you wouldn't know what if that's the west or not. But anyways, so the light is just beginning to spread out over the land. In the distance, far to the east, you can see the top of another mountain and a column of smoke sort of rising off of it. A thick, very thick column of smoke.
How far do you mean by distance? Like,
Oh, it's got to be at least 20, 30 miles.
And a column of smoke, you mean like Is it like a volcano, or
Yeah. I mean, you're not a geologist.
well, like as opposed to like
It's not
burning
like a
city or
campfire.
something.
yeah.
I mean, like
well, that's what I'm
at
asking.
20 or
right?
30
Like,
miles, it would have to be a pretty big fire one way or the other for you to be able to see it. I think, Mika.
all right.
It's
Well,
like a column of smoke that, like, comes off and extends.
Goes off into the skyline.
but no signs of civilization or anything like that.
It's still pretty dark to tell. Tony, you see basically the same thing. Yeah, but as you're there, you see in the mud there's these footprints of some kind of creature.
But not a bear.
Not a bear. No, it's like some sort of three-toed, more like an elephant foot. And Tony, instinctively, this creature does not belong at this altitude.
Oh, I see. So I look at and how far away is that footstep?
I mean, it's right. It's at the tree line. So.
Okay, I hop down here.
Yep. Okay.
So hop down and I examine it for, I don't know, freshness, how packed the mud is.
The freshest.
Mm.
Peak footprint, really.
Say, is that from the rider that we saw?
It's probably from the thing he was riding.
Yeah. It is, yeah. I say, yeah, and it's headed that way.
Seems like that might be our best lead here.
Our best bet.
Okay. And so back at the dais, you guys are just looking around.
I guess we would maybe try and test the boundary of the tree line or whatever. Like, are there other footprints leading in other directions, or like any other signs of wildlife here?
So you're scanning the tree line?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would walk towards the tree line. I maybe wouldn't bury myself in the trees haphazardly, but I want to walk there and start examining the ground for other animal evidence, nests, footprints.
So it's pretty warm here. There are there's not no insects in the air.
Okay.
You can hear some scattered jungle noises, mostly birds.
Crickets.
Yep. Cricket type creatures. Yep.
Okay. Any
Is it
really
daytime,
giant...
nighttime? Kind
It's
the
morning,
sun is
so it's
rising.
daybreak.
Daybreak?
No giant piles of triceratops shit.
Nope.
No.
Anyways, I'll say so we seem to be at the top of some sort of peak. There's a volcano off in that direction. I'll point east, but Tony seems to have found the tracks of whatever creature man was riding. See, we follow that and see if we can find some sort of civilization.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Oliver, you have anything different?
Agreed. Sounds
Maybe
good.
let's be careful approaching it, because if they were indeed here and saw us and then decided not to engage with us, maybe engaging with them directly isn't the best approach.
Yeah, I mean, we can be cautious, but we've got to find some food and water and shelter and all that stuff. Eventually.
Maybe once we get out to the edge of the jungle on the edge of the peak, we'll get a better look at the surrounding.
Sure. Okay.
I'll remind you all that we are trained for this. This is, our job. So.
Right.
True.
Scientists are good at this shit.
Okay, so you follow the tracks west, and when you reach the edge of the jungle, which is not really that far, maybe 100 yards or so of jungle, you notice that this is, by the way, the highest point of the mountain. And as soon as you sort of step beyond the edge of the jungle, you're sort of braced by the frigid temperature. It's not exactly It's probably freezing, but it's not like bitter cold. But it is also like much colder than in the
It's a
jungle.
big difference.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's unexpected.
Maybe.
Mika, you said you saw a volcano.
So yeah, so the sun has risen at this point, and you can sort of see the the lay of the land beyond you. I have a map. It's not in Roll20 yet, though, so I'll just describe it for now, and maybe next time we'll get into actual map. But so the land sort of extends beyond you to the east. You're on a mountain range that runs essentially north to south, to maybe a little tilted towards the east as it goes north, and sort of going directly south of you. There's some larger, long, oblong body of water with what looks like a long sandy beach on its edge, with some forested areas and what looks to be some sort of cultivated land between you and it. Also, as the sun rises, you can see it glint off some kind of dome down near this cultivated area. Sort of directly at the foot of the mountain you're on is what looks to be like a pretty rocky area. You can see like clouds of vapor rising from somewhere below you, directly to the east. And sort of between those two places, the cultivated area and the rocky area are sort of like a marsh that extends further to the east and sort of as you look towards the north, you can see more forested areas, including this sort of something looks sort of like a body of water, although it's pretty dark. It's almost like a black water, and on the edge of that lake-ish thing, you can see some kind of metallic structure sort of rising into the air at an angle, like a pretty low angle.
So you said that it's near freezing where we are. Does that seem?
It's definitely below freezing. You can see as you step off the dais that it's like there's like snow on the ground and stuff.
All right, and are we talking about the result of mostly altitude on the side of the mountain? I.e., does it look like down in the surrounding area it's also winter, or does it look like it's mostly just that we're so high up that we're at the snow line?
It looks like it's mostly altitude related.
So I mean, how high would you say we are?
It's got to be at least a mile and maybe more.
It depends on how this world works. So like,
yeah, I suppose
we had to judge how high up would we say we are.
You're pretty high, but it's a pretty steep mountain.
Which is why we can see like the foot of it. You're saying like we can kind of see right down it, but it's okay.
It's
6,000 feet of elevation isn't a ridiculous amount to cross in a day's walk. So
well, it'd be easier if one were a bear, but whatever.
Yes, that's true. But you said you've been trying and you haven't been able to do it.
No, I'm not a bear. I'm not a bear, unfortunately.
Right. Because we might as well get started, right?
Indeed.
Well, which way are we going? Now that we've seen this, do we definitely still want to follow those tracks, or are we like?
Do the tracks lead towards the farm agriculture?
So the tracks become a lot harder to follow as soon as you step off the jungle area.
And you said to the north was the direction that the footprints went, which was the opposite of the way that we saw the lizard?
Yes. So right off the dais, the footprints sort of went towards the north.
All right. And so that was the direction of the black pool with the metallic object coming out of it. Yep. Well, if we're concerned about self-preservation and learning about the world, then it seems like the farmland/settlement is the obvious thing to consider. If we're more interested in tracking down the Baron or whatever he calls himself, then it seems like those footprints are our best lead.
I think it's best to get our bearings first before we go after the evil necromancer or whatever he's calling himself here, as you say. Best to find some food and water, and so it looks like might be plenty of that down there, and perhaps some folks willing to share with us. Perhaps not. Might have to kill him, but it's food.
As you say.
Tony, Mika?
We can potentially get some of our food and water from the land right here. And I look back to the jungle.
That's assuming you think you know what's safe to eat and what's not safe to eat. But perhaps asking some people who make their own food is best for that.
I think I agree with Oliver. At the end
Maybe.
of the day.
I don't think it should be that hard though.
All right, you can be our taste tester, and if you die, we're not going to eat it.
It's fine.
It's pretty simple. Either that or that druid that's wandering around over there. Use him for a
Who, that guy?
tester.
Is he a druid still?
I'm
He
not
seems to
worried
have
about it.
taken the.
He's changed, but you're not quite sure how.
Not worried,
Yeah.
did it?
He just seems a little different. There's
It's
something
just
about him.
It's just a giant loading icon right now.
spinning
Is that spinning
wheel.
hourglass up there?
Yeah.
Right. So what's the play here?
You know, if we want to head to the agriculture, then so be it. But we gotta make good time if we're not gonna stick around and gather anything from here.
Well, we'll make better time if we don't stick around and gather anything from here. So
Yes,
yeah,
but we'd
let's
be
go.
provisioned. I mean, can I judge more or less the distance that it seems to be from us to the settlement and the things that are in the way, that kind of thing?
So the cultivated fields that you see are probably about 10, maybe 10 plus miles away. You can see the mountain range sort of extends north to south. Heading directly there is going to be a little bit. You're going to sort of follow the mountain range, which is a little more difficult in terms of physical effort. Yeah. So you're sort of the way the mountain range, as you sort of travel, you can see the mountain range is very steep on one side to the west, and it's sort of more gradual, but like a very steep mountain range in terms of what you would be familiar with in the real world. To the east,
Has my like mapping thing completed? Does that help at all? Does it?
So it seems to be taking information that will will be able to use, but it's not like
Telling you
Kinda like,
extrapolate.
like GPSing
Yeah,
us a
Mi-
perfect
Mika
path
will be
to
like
the
that farm seems to be like 10.642 miles away.
At next mountain, take a left, walk 10.642 miles, and arrive at destination.
So, in the previous world, I had a tin canteen type thing for water. Does that seem to have made it across all right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I'll fill it with snowpack and then kind of put it inside of my jacket / whatever I'm wearing exactly, so that it is slowly melted.
Okay.
And then say, all right, gents, I suggest if you have any kind of a container capable of holding water, that you fill it up. If we're looking at a hike of somewhere in the 10 to 13 mile distance, assuming that Mika is correct with the distance and that we don't run into a river or something that we have to go around, we should be able to do that in a day's walking without too much difficulty. And food won't be that much of an issue, but water very much will.
This 6-pack of beer that I apparently had, we probably drank that in the last world while we were preparing for the final battle. But I think I probably
Yeah, I
saved
think
one
so.
of the bottles to be my water bottle. So, like, I've got that.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Sure.
Got that going for you.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody else have anything they want to, like, pack up?
No.
All right.
Holy
So are we
symbol.
heading towards the farmlands? Picking our way there?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, we're doing it. We're going, Mr. Jim.
All right. So you begin to head down, picking your way down towards the farmland, and as you go. So wait, are you guys giving up on the tracks?
I mean, which ones? The ones
All
from
of
the
them,
rider?
Animal tracks?
So you said they're like
there's man tracks, and there's heading towards the farmland.
The animal tracks were essentially going in the direction we want to go in.
Weren't they?
Yeah. So as you sort of follow them, you can see that they sort of veer off
Okay.
from the south and begin heading west.
And what did we see in that direction? That was the marsh or the rocky landscape?
So the west is a little harder to see. You guys sort of headed east, and so the jungle is to your west essentially now. But it's sort of the jungle appears to be like completely round, like perfectly round, and it sort of heads around the south side of the jungle.
The crown of a great beast.
I mean, is it worth it to just kind of walk the perimeter here?
I don't think we really want to spend the time on that.
We can come back here.
That's fine.
Probably 2 hours, not 2 days from the camp that we're gonna spend most of the time with.
Whatever. Make it cool.
Let's go.
Good.
Oliver starts going.
Which direction?
Farmland direction. Just heading out.
Leaving the tracks behind.
Yeah, I think if there's something else in this world interesting to find, we'll come across it again. But we need to get our bearings a little better than that.
All right.
Okay, cool. All right, so you guys begin to head downwards towards the farmland. Who's sort of leading here?
No, I think I'm gonna have to lead
All right.
because
I'm
so no, you're not. So because of the I'm just gonna enable all of our friends here for any sort of climbing or balancing that's needed,
Okay.
like on the steep descent.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, so I'll take point out various rocks that will require more footing and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so you guys sort of you'll come to a point where you can see that there's like sort of a steep cliff, and that to go around it is going to be like a pretty significant investment of time. And as you sort of gaze down, you can see there's some sort of creature in a small clearing in the rocky area, sort of at the base of this cliff, and it's sort of brownish. It has a sort of a long tail. With a very thick end to it, and it seems to be just like walking in circles.
Like aimlessly, or like it's walking
Like-
around, like surveying its area.
No, like it's
sniffing around.
walking in like like a
Little.
15-foot circle, like exactly repeatedly.
Okay, that doesn't maybe. I mean, I'm no Australian big game hunter, but I
Right.
imagine that's like a sign that it could be injured or even poisoned.
Got the space dementia. It's a
Sorry,
sad thing.
What
It
type
could
of
also be guarding.
beast is this?
So this is it's a pretty squat, low beast. It's a little bit far away, but it walks on 4 legs. It's got sort of a tail with kind of like a knob at the end.
Sort of like an ankylosaurus.
If that was a thing, then yeah.
Yeah, okay. Some of us were required to go to primary school and learned about what dinosaurs look like, so
You don't
can't say
know.
that for the rest of these creatures.
Sure, yeah, no, if that's true, then it looks like an ankylosaurus.
All right.
I can
Yeah,
make
so
a word and put Saurus at the end of them too.
you could. I mean, you're
it's an
encouraged to do so. Anyway, yeah. So there's no real good way to get down the slope.
I mean,
It would be a pretty tough
climb
climb.
down the face of the cliff.
There is one easy way.
Yeah.
Just jump. Go ahead and jump.
What is it, Tony? What do you
One
have
jump.
to say?
Hit Ankylosaurus.
What?
He's
One jump.
is it meta?
That's
What
right.
is it, Tony? What do you got to say?
Well, I say the easy way is to go straight down, but I think if we
secondary objectives.
how far away is the so you're saying that there's a I don't know, what is it, like a gap? How big's the gap?
Yeah.
Maybe I
I don't think I
misunderstood it.
understood, yeah. When you say gap, you
Wait.
mean
Okay, so I thought you said there's like a cliff. Oh, but it doesn't continue. It just kind of like straight down and like that's
yeah.
it?
There's kind of
Oh.
a sheer cliff face which you could
Okay.
climb down. It would be a difficult climb. To go around it along the side of the mountain is looks like it goes pretty far.
Do I retain my climbing gear from?
Did you have climbing gear in the last?
I did. It's part
That's
of my.
like his thing.
It's my
Okay.
type.
Yeah,
Um,
then you still have it.
I've
Okay.
got extra socks. We could like tie them together and.
I have gloves. I have climbing gloves too.
Okay.
So I say, well, if we, I can secure us at the top, and we climb down, but it'll make our climb a little easier. But once we climb down, we still have to deal with that thing.
Oh, the old Circlosaurus down there.
Yeah. I've got some experience with animals. There were rather a lot of them on the estate. So I can certainly give it a try once we get down there. I might be able to calm it at least briefly enough for us to get by.
Okay.
All right.
You all right, Tony?
Yeah, sorry, something in my
It's all right. We all get sad sometimes.
IRL. All right, so Tony,
He's
like
really
Tony,
moved by your speech, William.
Yeah.
So Tony ties like off the rope, but like at the top, in a way, such a way that he can like do like a certain motion to like untie it from the bottom. But as he's doing it, his like ragged suit that he had on from like Earth is like still on him with little rag. But as he's doing it, you notice that like his like shoulder and like bicep and tricep muscles are like bulging to the point where they like rip the suit in like two places, like along the seams, and he doesn't seem to notice. He like keeps tying it off. As he finally like finishes, he ties it off, you notice that like his upper body physique has like changed to look pretty muscular, because Tony was always like a skinnier dude, and now he's like a little bit more like muscly looking, and that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yes. All
He's got, like,
notices.
significantly more
notices,
chest hair than you
smiles.
remember.
Yeah.
Looking good there, Tony.
All of us all right with this? He's like, yes. More.
I am proud of the snot. And like Tony's just kind of like he's like, all right, climb down whenever you want, and he like just sort of does like a jump holding the rope, like, and
Sure.
feet face towards the cliff, and like just shimmies his way down like super fast. Like, I don't know.
Fuck! It turns out there's no gravity in this world. Just floating there.
He just
Slide and
flies,
float.
sails off into the sunset. Right.
And that was the end of that scene.
Okay, so give me a. I'm not sure if this is might or speed. I guess it's probably speed actually.
There's a climbing check.
Yeah, but climbing can be speed or might.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so I
think this is speed. I think this is
sure. Okay, so I have 3. I'm like super trained in climbing. I have like 3 whatever.
And you do 3?
Trained, specialized, and what's the last one?
I didn't know that there was another one.
Yeah, there's a third level.
Third level, no, it's because I is inability. That's if you're like.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
not
then
allowed to
sure.
do it.
Well, then I wish I didn't put a point in it.
Are you sure?
Alright, so
I
maybe
thought
you
there were
should
3
take-
levels.
You can only get trained and specialized in something. There's no third level.
All right, well then I have an extra
The
point.
third column is for if you are like literally not able to.
Great. Then I am both.
You just listen, you
He's-
are not
he has
able to do that,
transcended climbing to the point
Put it
where you
into something
cannot
else, then.
really call what
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
I was gonna
climbing.
move to something else.
He floats away.
yeah, he just the
Literally
climbing.
flies.
I'm gonna stay
Stop.
here.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm
So
climbing.
so I'm specialized in climbing, and there's also a rope attached, and and I'll use.
All right, so you have a climbing gear. So this is a difficulty 4. So you have your climbing gear, so that's an asset.
Yeah.
You're trained in
I'm
climbing, is that right?
I'm specialized.
Specialized in
so
climbing,
two.
so that's 2 more. Okay,
And
you're down to a
I'll
1.
and I'll use. Do I need? Can I get
Can
down
you get
to 0?
below 1?
If you get to a
You
0,
can.
you don't have to roll. Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna do that because I have 3 edge, so in speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
so like
so-
I just jump right off, like holding this like rope, like monkey climb my way down, like this creature.
Okay, sure. Great. All right, who's next?
I guess I should be next since it's going to be my job to stop the Circlosaurus from devouring us or whatever it is that it might do.
And I'll help whoever's like coming down. I'll like give them.
Also,
pointers.
yeah. All right, go on. Go ahead,
Um,
there, William.
So I mean, it's climbing gear, and then is Zacapa lending aid? Is that meaningful?
I don't. It doesn't seem like it. He just kind of like heaved off and
He
and
literally
fell down
flapped
the
his arms and flew away.
God, it's flown into the sunset. There's nothing left of him. All right.
steps.
Let's see, I don't think that I have any abilities or skills that would particularly help with this.
So I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I'm feeling a bit whalish at the moment.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you
Yeah.
might. You might.
You mean to say
And I'm
Welsh?
wondering about perhaps just defying this gravity all together.
Uh-huh.
But I have an important question because I'm wondering if perhaps I can take somebody down with me to ease their travels, like Mr. William. So there's a weight limitation to what I've got,
All right.
but it's based on a die roll, and I don't know if it's that you're supposed to like roll it when you use it to determine that or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the rule is. Okay, so if I were to roll that and have enough weight for both of us, could I just like hold on to my friend William? I mean, I'd prefer to hold on to my friend.
Yeah,
Tony.
we'll leave this to the.
I mean,
So on a
even if
roll-
you make
what?
yourself.
I'm going to leave this to the winds of fate here. I'm going to roll 1d3. On a 1, you get to know beforehand. On a 2, you don't get to know beforehand. And on a 3, I'm not going to tell you whether or not you know.
Wow, this
How
guy.
does that work?
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. That doesn't make any sense. That's the
No,
same
it
thing,
doesn't.
too.
Yeah,
It's a nice try, but I'm not sure. I'm not even sure that it's like
Heads we
epistemologically
win,
possible to
tails
do it.
we lose.
All right. So on a 1,
That's all I
you're good.
want.
On a 2, I get to have some fun. All right. 1, you get to
Good.
know beforehand.
Okay,
Epistemological conundrum.
so are you going to tell
Don't
us
know
now
what I
we're
don't
gonna
know.
know it's not going to work?
Yeah. So you get to roll, and you get to know whether it's going to work or not before you.
Yeah, but listen,
It's,
if it lowers your weight
gonna
or
roll
makes you
the
levitate,
weight.
you can always use the rope to like guide you down.
Oh, he's talking about something like strapping like William Penbrook to his back and like floating.
Of course, I rolled terribly, so like it probably doesn't matter.
Oh god, wait. Yeah.
Let me just double check that. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work. So I can only handle myself.
Okay.
All right.
but-
So
So is
But if
William
I
just gonna roll?
I think that's what we've got. And
Sorry,
we
William.
said it starts at 12. The climbing gear brings it down to 9, and then I can spend how many points of speed to bring it down one more?
All right. So it's 3 for the first point of for the first level of effort. I don't know what your speed like maximum effort. I don't know what your maximum effort is. I imagine it's probably 2 at this point.
I think it's isn't it based on your tier? Don't you get
Yeah.
one for each tier?
No.
Yeah.
It's 1 for each tier.
I think it is. Yeah, exactly.
it
Yeah,
is.
so we're
And
we're
that's-
tier 3.
You don't
effort
have to
three.
take it, right? But you'd be like silly not to.
I think I've got 4 effort is what it looks like. They've got those boxes at the top, and there's one that's +1 into effort. That's checked.
So the first level of effort
Yeah,
is
you
3
gotta
points, and every level of effort after that is 2 more points.
All right. So if I spend 3, then that bumps it 1. If I spend 5, then that bumps it 2.
Yeah, and if you have any edge, that
You've
would
got
apply.
edge, I'm sure, right?
I do not have any speed edge.
Wow.
Nope, 0. All right. So let's just spend the 3 to bring it to 6, and roll the dice.
All right.
So
Somewhat reasonable.
Come on,
Listen.
William. Don't die on us now, maybe.
No promises.
Success.
All right.
Just barely, but we did it.
There we go. All right. So you
Comment?
begin descending. Oliver, you're going to come after him, or go after. You're going to float down by yourself.
Yeah, I am.
So Oliver Mary Poppins over on the side.
I mean, Oliver just like he looks over the edge and like isn't that happy about it, but the sudden rush of the depth like gives him a little flashback to that vision or whatever you want to call it, and he like remembers that the pearl is in his pocket and like
This is a
reaches
cipher.
in and I don't know, like rubs it or something.
Sure.
And if he's like looking over the edge, suddenly he realizes that he's now just like standing off the edge of the cliff, floating there, looking down. And
Right.
he just like lets himself sink.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's fine. William, you climb down the cliff with some difficulty, but you make it to the bottom. You see this creature sort of circling about, and everybody sort of like turns back up, and they see Mika standing there, like sunlight glinting off her metallic features.
Kim.
Is that my cue to climb down?
I mean, if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, I guess you could just like go back to the jungle.
Mika takes off. fuck?
Turn into a jet fighter and fly.
That's what I thought he was going to give us the distance to the next mountain in terms of like number of jetpack refuelings for Mika.
Yeah,
First
I'll
happens
climb
to
down.
land.
What was the difficulty?
So
4.
it is. It's 4.
And so the rope counts as an.
Yep, that's right.
This is a speed test.
That's right.
I have balance. Does that help? As I'm trained.
How would balance
Balancing
help?
myself. I don't know. Like,
All right,
I'm
well,
well coordinated.
You gotta have to sell a little harder than that. All right.
All right. I don't know. I mean, I would say that, being a CIA agent until I can get home, so that they can leave me a duty for having gone to other dimensions without express written permission.
CIA likes to do that all the time. Come on.
I imagine that Mika in her days training at the academy has had to rappel up and down steep walls and stuff.
Fair
So
enough.
she's comfortable.
All right. We can use a point of balance here as an asset.
All right, I'll spend 1 point of speed. I'll make it a.
You got 2 edge. Pretty good.
All right. What do we got?
14.
14. All right, you're good. All right, so I'm going to offer you an intrusion. So as you begin to descend, you can see that the rope, which was this rope is from where actually? Tony.
Earth.
Tony's rope.
Tony's Earth rope.
From pseudo real world.
Yeah. So you can see it beginning to fray at the top of the rock up above you. Seems like this rope has been it's been maybe too far from home.
All right. Yeah, I'll take the injury.
Okay.
Does he still have the reality spike? That
No, that's mine.
That fucking thing.
The only
I
cipher
have
I have is a Ib holy symbol, which I'm not sure actually does it.
it's a secret cipher, I think, or at least mine was a secret cipher, which I think actually has a meaning. Like that, it does something.
I have 2.
Yeah. What ciphers do you guys have? So we
Well,
got
I
the
had this little whale pearl.
Sure. Well, that disappears. It
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
fades away.
So I have the reality spike from the frog pit. Remember that frog pit?
Yeah.
Proper?
And I have the lens of the
Right.
past.
What?
Lens of the past. It allows me to look backwards in time up to 1 year for 5
Oh,
minutes.
that's right.
I'm pretty sure. Did you use that already?
okay.
Okay. Cool.
I have a medium-sized Ib holy symbol, which is a level 2 secret cipher.
Okay.
I don't remember what the heck it does, but that's what it is.
I don't even have that information. Just have Ib holy symbol. I don't know the size of it or the level of secrets.
6 and 20.
All right.
So I only had the bead, but I didn't think I was ever actually going to use it, so I'm happy.
Worthwhile. Don't have to sully yourself climbing down this rope.
all right. Sure. So I mean, I think I have noted down what each of those are. But
And if not, make them up.
What was the process for like identifying what a cipher does? Possible, or do you just like swing it around, see if it's magical?
no. I mean, yeah. So there's a process. There was a magic skill. I don't know if you guys have it anymore.
I don't think any of us do. There was a way to like identify ciphers, though.
So I mean,
I
I think
have it.
Dave was doing that sometimes.
I
Yeah,
can have it as a tier 3 ability, but I chose not to because I thought someone had it. So
I'm pretty sure
Somebody
Dave
did.
has it. Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
did, but he is, as we said, a loading icon. So let's hold off.
All right. Sure. I mean, you could also just make an intellect test, right? I mean, the magic skill is just a asset on that test.
You could just like,
All right. Well, it'll
Part of
remain
the
a
cards
mystery.
it-
Anyway,
when
so
you
the
tap,
rope
you-
begins to fray.
Yeah. So okay. So you first thing happens is you get an experience point for accepting this intrusion, and you get to give one away.
Anybody in dire need of it?
Is it,
Definitely not Oliver. I heard you have like
what do you
11
use XP for again?
leveling up.
You use it to reroll? Is that what it is?
You can
Yeah,
use
you
it for
can.
rerolls.
Either
and you can
reroll or level up.
Or well, you can also use it for like to get like advantages in a scene. Get, like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think there's some rules where you can like
Or-
get like temporary
or-
advantages.
Level up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm-
I think-
alright.
Though I think
Yeah,
you're
no, don't
actually
give it
you're
a-
not supposed to have more than like 10.
Yeah, I think that you and Tony are the first. Well, and my guess is that Oliver has 11 because I think we got a bunch of XP at
We
the
got like
very
8
end
at the end.
of
Seven.
last session, 7 or something like that. Like
Yeah.
we got a bunch of XP. So
But
I
Aaron,
had,
that should
I had 7 on my character sheet.
Aaron,
so
that should have
Okay.
pushed you to tier 4.
I
You
don't
said-
think so. My guess is that I used some of it. I just didn't use all of it.
Yeah, and I remember it being I thought it was 8, but you might be right that it's 7. I remember it being like, yeah, we'll deal with this in 8 months when we like play this in shore again. But you know,
And now your comeuppance has come.
well, no,
Yeah.
I was fine with it and waiting to use it, but not if there's a rule against like having to have only.
all right,
I'll use it
I'll give it to
for the
Tony
session.
Oh, solid.
for
Right,
betraying you
Tony,
with the
what were
shitty
you
roll.
at previously? You were at like level tier 3 with 1 XP or 7 XP or something, or what?
Me?
Yeah.
No, so I'm currently at. So if you counter in what I had checked already, I'm at 310 right now. With
Okay.
this
Okay, right.
So
Okay,
this puts
I'm
me
at-
11.
311.
I'm at 312 with what's checked, and Oliver's. Yeah, so I mean, he's like lowest by 1 or 2, right? So that makes sense.
I'm kind of surprised. I must be like way behind. I have 8 XP, but I have no check marks in tier.
Is it possible that you didn't include your 7? That the rest of us like took a minute to
Or
include our
It's
7?
also possible
No, I
that
had
Mika,
7
like
on my
skip-
character sheet.
You could have like
I did that.
skipped a session maybe where we got
Mika,
like.
yeah, Mika may
Yeah.
just not have gotten like may not have like failed enough times that gave him XP or had other people hand him XP from intrusions. He could just like
Okay.
so.
Well,
Anyway,
now he's
okay.
getting an XP. So you hear the rope like the fibers inside start to like tighten as it begins to fray the top, and you can see it like about to snap. And you're like maybe like a quarter of the way down the cliffside.
How big was this cliffside?
A quarter seems dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I'd say this is probably like a good like
So
3
I-
stories.
So I guess
Is there enough like I don't know, little like jagged edges and stuff on the cliffside that I could potentially?
You want to just like try to jump off the let go of the rope and
maybe I'm still floating there. Maybe I can catch him.
All right,
It's
Kev,
been pretty
remember I'm
clearly
like a
established
giant
by that
robot.
point. Can we like look up and see that seems to be struggling?
yeah,
The
yeah,
rope is
absolutely. Or I mean,
Alright.
I assume like robots can emit warning. from
Oliver
their
just
rope.
like floats on casually by you, and it's like, guys, it's not looking so
So,
good for Mika.
Kev,
here.
I'd like to use one of my abilities. It's called Enable Others.
Sure, okay.
So I like look up and see what's going on, and I say, Mika, the 2 stones to your right, they'll hold your weight.
And I will shout up and say, or I suppose you could try just punching handholds into the cliff, robot arms and all.
Both, I would
so-
say, quote unquote,
so
valid
what-
strategies.
Whatever you choose to do, if it's something that I'm good at, which is like climbing, balancing, jumping, whatever, you get it. It's reduced by 1.
Yeah,
And I
so
think
then
you'll-
as I see the rope kind of almost give way, I'll reach out and try to gain like a foothold on the cliff wall where Tony directed me.
Okay, all right, yeah. So make another speed test here.
As Oliver floats by, he like claps encouragingly.
This is
Gives you
still
a-
difficulty 4.
The most subtle of encouragements.
I'm about to like jump off and just hang on to Oliver
Yeah, so this is difficulty 5.
5, and I get like Tony's enabling
Mhm.
asset.
Yep.
Does balance down here?
Sure. Yeah, but I think
Balance,
balance.
counts even more here than
Yeah,
last
definitely,
time.
definitely.
So that knocks it down to a 3.
What else you got there, Mika? You're always really nimble. Come on.
I mean, I have plenty of speed, so I might spend
You
a
could just
point
use some.
here since I have 2 edge. So
Okay.
That's 3.
The-
That makes it a 6, right?
Yeah. So look all nimbly jumping from cliff to cliff.
So it's actually no. I mean, we'll see if he succeeds or not. But it definitely doesn't look like that. He's like a cyborg robot. He's like, leaping
Clunky.
over to like the side of a
Clunky
cliff and
beast,
like
like-
All right.
breaking off boulders.
Let's see. So I need a 6.
Maybe fast, but he ain't nimble.
I get 13.
There you
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mika like reaches out and like you can kind of hear her like cyborg hand like smash into the rock and kind of like almost grip the rock face. Her foot like smashes into the rock wall, forming a little foothold.
Yeah. So actually, your hand goes into the rock wall and sort of like breaks through into some kind of open area.
That's
Alright.
more like it.
So William was right.
Oliver like floats
William's
down and
always
then
right.
kind of like floats back up.
Hello.
I'll like try to like smash it again to see if I can make an opening.
Yeah. Okay. So you will be able to get in. This is going to be. I'll give you a might test. With the downside being that you would take might damage if you fail, just to like expend enough effort to get into this.
Okay.
Break through this wall. So it'll be a difficulty 3 might test.
All right. Sure. So I'm trained in like bashing, medium.
Yeah.
bashing.
Okay. Well, that seems like applicable here.
Also, I'm made out of metal, which I feel like should count for something, or at least my like arms are made out of metal.
I'll have to give that to you.
All right.
You are made out of metal, and everyone knows metal greater than sign rock.
All right. 7. So it's a 6.
Okay, great. All right, so you like smash your shoulder into the rock, and you can see that sort of beyond there is some kind of like it looks like maybe this was a ruin once, but there's like a half caved in what looks like a chamber.
Yeah. All right. So I'll like
How big? How
like
big?
I'll like yell down to the rest of them, saying like there's an entrance to some kind of ruin up here.
It could be more than like maybe 7 feet deep.
Oliver asks you if you said rune or rune. Tries to clarify.
What?
Did you say rune or rune?
What?
right.
Excuse me? Say again? Come.
All right, so Tony and William, you're at the bottom of the cliff. This creature is sort of like circling around at the bottom of the cliff. As you look at it, Tony, you can see that this creature is like very clearly in pain. It's got some kind of like metallic device on its head with like a crystal on top that's sort of like pulsating red and sort of like crackling. And you can see the creature's eyes are like bloodshot, and its tongue kind of like hangs out of its mouth dryly. Also, as you look beyond it, also around you, you can see the ruined, bloody mass of like half of a corpse that's clearly been like smashed with the tail of this beast. But it's been there for quite some time. In fact, it's starting to rot. And as soon as you land at the bottom of the cliff, you can smell it.
What kind of corpse?
So it's humanoid. Yeah.
All right, William, try your thing.
Is it?
I mean,
Is it bigger than me?
Yes, it is. It is actually.
so I'll try to calm it, given that it seems
Oh, I meant the
in
dead body.
discomfort. What?
Meant
You try
the
to
dead
oh.
body.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll also. I guess I'll start by seeing whether I can consort with the dead.
Yeah. So you sort of approach the corpse, and its smell is just nauseating. As you look at it, you can see its skin is sort of strange. There are like here and there. It's like a weird texture. Maybe scaly is not the right word, but it seems like there are like here and there like bits of feather attached to the skin. And it's wearing like for lack of a better term, like futuristic-ish clothing.
All right, and when I reach out and try to compel it to speak to me, nothing happens.
Nothing
Fizzles.
happens. Nope.
Yeah, so then I'll turn and try to calm the animal that seems to be in significant pain at the moment, which is I think a two intellect thing that I can do.
Sure, yeah.
So I will do that. Let me pull this up. Oh. All right. So yeah, I speak to it and say, "It's all right there. It's all right. Easy, girl, easy." And I'll kind of stand where it can see me, and hold the hand up non-threateningly.
Yeah. So you can see its eyes like dart to you and then back to the other body. And as you hold out your hand, the creature doesn't seem to be responding to you, but you can feel the presence of this this device on its head. And you're not sure exactly how, but you think you can manipulate it.
All right, I'll delve into that and see what lean into that, see what I can do.
Yeah. So Tony, you're sort of standing there, and you can see that the red crystal on this starts to glow more brightly, and sort of like arcs of electricity start to hop out of it into the creature. So William, give me an intellect test. This would be difficulty 4 to try to make some sense of this.
All right. Okay. So I don't know. Does any of my consorting with beasts play into this test? Don't know exactly what we're having me do here. I can communicate.
On your off hours with beasts is.
Yeah.
So this is I think having consorting with beasts foci will that can be an asset itself here.
Okay. So that'll be an asset. We said it's difficulty 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the controls beasts is an asset, and then I'm going to use 2 effort to pull it down another 2. So that'll bring it to a 3. Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. Yep.
All right, we got a success.
All right, great. So you sort of reach out, Tony. You can see the electricity sort of like arcing out from this thing atop the creature's head, and then it stops pulsing and just kind of simmers down. And William, you feel like you've got your hands around the steering wheel here, and you can sort of tell this beast what to do.
All right, William kind of jumps.
Kill
a bit.
Oliver.
Hey, kill them all. No. Can I communicate with it a little bit? That's another thing that I can do.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm particularly interested to know whether the corpse is its former controller.
Yeah. So you can feel just like a burning hatred inside the creature for this corpse. And that is very is outmatched completely by its desire to eat and drink, as it is both starving and dying of thirst. I guess that's probably one way. But
all right. And can I tell whether it's a carnivore or an herbivore?
Yeah, this is an herbivore. This is like you said, an ankylosing.
Yeah.
It's sort of got an armored back with spines along the side that extend down towards its tail, which ends in this double bony knob.
All right. So William kind of walks over, continuing to maintain control, and places his hand on the beast's shoulder near the neck, and turns to Tony and says, "She needs water and food.
Kind of food.
Some kind of vegetable fodder, probably leafy hay would be fine. Something from the trees in the area. Did you happen to see any rivers nearby as you were rappelling down?"
No rivers, but if it's okay with Kevin, I picked up some roots while we were walking.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can try it with the roots, but as you can see, she's a rather large animal. I think we'll be better off taking her into the jungle slightly and letting her eat the forest. But
Jungle's kind of high though.
no, the forest here. I mean, there's got to be some forest somewhere nearby, right?
Yeah, so you guys are still in the mountains, but you're like probably 2/3 of the way down, and it looks like the
Wait, where the hell did Mika go? Why is there a hole in that wall?
Inside the cliff.
Yeah. So, good question. Good question. So, we'll shift back to Mika. So, Mika, as you sort of peer into this outcropping, you can see there's a. So, like, as you look in, first of all, from somewhere on your head, you're not exactly sure. Like a light, emits into the cave like a flashlight and kind of gives you vision. As you look at the like sort of back wall of this structure, clearly, you can see the back wall is like carved. But more interestingly, in front of it, there's an area of in the air that is like the best way to describe it is like fuzzy, and it kind of like moves, shifts around as you look at it.
There's an area in the air that's fuzzy.
Yeah, so it's sort of distorted. It's like as you peer into it, it's almost like you can see like images kind of appearing and disappearing very quickly in this anomaly.
The portal.
I'll call out like, hello.
So as you call out, you hear like the sound of like some kind of radio static, and then like another voice come over the line. There's a hello, who is this?
Say, my name is Mika Reyes. Who am I speaking with?
Your real name?
He says, Mika, which unit are you with, Mika?
I'm not with any unit. Who is this?
He says, come again? I did not hear you. So as you peer into this anomaly, you see the image of like the inside of some kind of metallic vehicle. There's a man sitting there with like a thick mustache and a metal helmet with the Nazi symbol on it, and he's like talking to a radio.
Oh, was that a German accent?
Could be worse.
So-
Could be Victor Cole.
You mean Walter Cole?
Yeah, sure, that one.
So
I know. I thought it was just the guy from the Lost World.
So
but-
through this thing, I see a mustached man with a swastika on his shirt or something like that.
On his helmet. Yep.
Why do you sound so incredulous, Mika?
Wasn't. I guess I really shouldn't be surprised by anything, but I just wasn't planning to run into any Nazis today. So
I mean,
Listen, we got dinosaurs, we got lasers. What else could we add to this mix to make it better?
The
Third
moon,
thing
but
is definitely not. Well, the moon is there.
say,
is one ever planning to just run into Nazis?
I say, please identify yourself.
Okay, so he he gives you his designation. It's like a 3rd Panzer Division, Walter Cole.
yeah, buddy, he's back.
K421?
Is there any way for me to, I don't know. So through this viewer, do I see anything that indicates that like this transmission is coming from this world?
There's not like a label on it.
Or like
No, he
in
means,
the
like, background.
you say I can like see him. Do I just see his face, or can I see anything beyond him?
He's in, like,
So
a metal
as you,
box.
I mean, as you look into it, you're not actually sure that you're like seeing it exactly at all. You're kind of just experiencing it, and as you look at it, like you have that image in your mind. And you can see the guy sort of like look up at you, and he looks like he like sort of squints, and he kind of like holds out his hand.
All right, I'll like reach out and see if I can touch him.
Give
High
me
five.
Hold hands with a Nazi?
an intellect test 3 here.
Mika would shake hands with the Nazi.
To like test
I just shake
3. Take it this is perception roll.
No.
This is a mental attack, bro. Be on your god.
I mean, why are you daydreaming about Nazis up there,
The-
Mika?
This, like, whatever it is that's sending this, there isn't like a device that I see, right?
No. This is just like an anomaly, like literally suspended in the middle of the air.
All right. I mean, I'll spend some intellect points. But other than that, I'm not sure I have anything that pertains to weird, like, trans-dimensional anomalies.
Understandable.
I don't think most of us do. It makes you
Understandable.
feel
So you said it was base difficulty 3, so I guess knock
Yep.
it down to a 2. 6. I get a 12. so
Okay.
Exceeds.
All right. So you kind of like reach your hand in just as he does the same, and you see him like pull his hand away, and he's got like some sort of object in his hand, and he like looks at it like curiously as the image begins to fade from your mind, and you look at your hand and you can see you've got some kind of tin, and on the front of it says amphetamine.
Okay. I
It's
this
in
is like
German.
a cipher.
Save that for later.
We all know what that cipher does.
Yeah, it's a box of amphetamine.
Also, yeah, you have to take the whole box at once.
Is it a cipher?
It is a cipher, yeah.
Is it also a box of amphetamine?
Those things are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Okay. So
I like it.
I guess that I look down. I see this box, and the transmission disappears.
Yep.
Is there anything else in this little cutout?
So you see like the back wall of this ruin is covered in these sort of strange I mean the right word is not hieroglyphics, but like pictographs.
Okay.
They're like they're sort of a strange style. It's hard to describe. It appears to be showing some different kinds of people meeting and exchanging things, but more than that you can't really tell. There's like a volcano in the background and like weird symbols that are hard to determine what the
But it doesn't go further in.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of make a mental recording. And then I'll go back out to the cliffside.
Sure.
The box of amphetamines, is it like a? It's just like a box that just says amphetamines on it.
Yeah, it says amphetamine.
If I look inside, is it filled with pills?
Yeah, yep.
All right.
And there's a little instruction packet that
It
says
says, like,
like
eat all of
adults
these
and
at
children over 12 take one box.
Yeah.
Instructions in German.
So yeah, all the words in it are in German, but I also put amphetamines in German into Google Translate, and it translates to amphetamine.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
Well researched, sir.
Sure. All right. So can I'm gonna try to climb down, I guess, since the.
sure. Yeah. No, that's fine. You can sort of pick your way down. Now that you've realized that you can just bust holes in the rock, and you reach the bottom.
All right. Yeah, I'll kind of like relay this strange encounter to the others as I stare in bewilderment at William and his.
So I mean, well, what does Mika say exactly? Because this is not exactly
sure.
like, oh yeah, I was at the store.
Yeah. So
Mika, where'd you get that box of amphetamine?
Well, I guess when she reaches the ground, first of all, she looks like weirdly at William, who's like
His new dog.
petting a dinosaur. So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
say, what happened here?
I don't know. She seems to respond much the way that horses or other trained animals do. She's hungry and thirsty, so we're gonna try to relieve that issue.
Give her a box of amphetamine.
Let's not. Let's on a scale of 1 to
enough for a
worst
dinosaur.
idea ever.
Here, girl, you want to talk to a Nazi?
I'm just saying, if
Say,
she's hungry,
there seemed to be some kind of ruin behind the cliff wall.
ruin. Got it.
But yeah.
Inside,
right.
there was a wall filled with ruins.
God damn it! All right.
So
Okay.
I say, must be some kind of, I don't know, dimensional glitch or something. Seems like there was I spoke to a Nazi tank commander.
What now?
I mean, this does seem less crazy to us, considering we've walked through like 2 portals into different dimensions.
Still, I mean, Nazis.
Still, I'm just saying.
I produced the little can of amphetamines and say, and as it ended, I found myself holding this.
Sure, you found yourself holding the amphetamine. That's
Yeah.
I've never heard that
I
one
don't know
before.
where they came from. They aren't mine.
Yeah, I'm holding them
No,
for
they're
a
definitely
Nazi
mine.
friend.
I'm gonna need these.
I got them from a Nazi, you know, the oldest excuse in the book.
Liar. Anyway,
You don't have to believe me if you don't want to.
I believe you, as I like stay there, like polishing my reality spike.
He's got a point.
Oh, all right, that's it. That was the end of the session. It was.
and
Nice
Thank you, everyone.
That's the end of Life from Beyond. In fact,
killed us.
They look.
Killed us all.
I'm not sure I
even
can
had
really make
fun.
any sense of it, but considering all that's happened, it might not be the strangest thing we've encountered so far.
But also, it maybe is.
I mean, it's up there. It might be like a top 3 item, but
Yeah.
like, who's to say exactly like what is the objectively strangest thing?
I mean, you just got a box of amphetamines from a Nazi in a
but, like-
hole in a cliff.
Yeah, but like Whale Dream.
Yeah, I mean that was a dream.
Yeah,
Was
but that's like real weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. All right. Let's not try to compare weirdness. And William like glances
Look,
briefly at the
it's
dinosaur.
fine.
As you lead your dinosaur off into the jungle? Yeah, let's
Yes.
not.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna try to take the dinosaur to
Orange.
water. You can lead an ankylosaurus to water, but you know,
You can't make it eat a box of amphetamine.
no, I can.
You-
I'm pretty sure I have control over it. That's
yeah,
what I
we're
do.
gonna- There's not gonna be a roll for
So
that. anymore.
I'm curious. Can you tell me what the like crystal looks like to me?
On the dinosaur.
It's okay. So it's attached to this sort of like metal device, which is clamped around its head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sort of this like red crystal. It appears to be some kind of like ruby, maybe.
I don't see anything weird on it.
No, it's in a holder on this metal device.
Is
By the
it
way,
safe? Is
the
it safe to
Ankylosaurus-
remove its collar, William?
What color? That's not a collar, and I would recommend against it.
So by the way, I did not mention this, but the Ankylosaurus does have a sort of a harness on it, which has 2 seats.
All right, let's not ask it to bear any weight until we've tested it a little bit and given it some food and water.
Yeah. Poor creature. And what about the box of amphetamine? Do they look weird to me at all?
No, it looks exactly like
Like
you
an
know,
ordinary German
Nazi
box of-
amphetamine.
yeah, like a just a regular Blitzkrieg.
All right. I'm just checking. Check.
Yeah. So okay. So you're gonna walk off into the forest and try to get some food.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it can sort of scavenge from the plant life around pretty easily, but really you can tell it needs some water. What's your guys' strategy for finding potable?
I'm just gonna do it.
We
What
make the
potable?
beast drink and see if it's all right.
So I mean, I know there's occasionally that there could be like pockets of water that are like pooled in the ground. They just need a little bit of searching to find. So
Sure.
I have
like a,
Finding rod.
yeah. I mean, I have like survival
survival?
skill. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So this would be a difficulty for survival skill. Definitely be an asset.
Okay. Okay. So I'm specialized in it.
Okay. Then that's 2.
Should I just? And what is intellect? I'm not doing that. I don't have that. All right. Let's hope I don't fail. I'm gonna stick with 2.
All right. That'd be
There we go.
Which above 13. Great. Okay. Yeah. So you you find the right spot in the ground and begin digging, and after a few maybe 15 minutes there's a pool of muddy water in the bottom of this hole.
As I use my hands and like a little knife, like my muscles just keep open.
Yeah. It's worked up
all
a
right.
manly lather.
Yeah, it's manly.
Okay.
Until eventually there's like a pool of water that begins to like water begins to like
Sure.
pool upwards through the ground.
Good job getting us to the water table. All right. And then I'll lead the Ankylosaurus over and see whether it will drink.
I quickly
Yes,
take some
it's
sips
willing to
before the Ankylosaurus gets there.
I drink it up. Bitch. Get your whole water.
What now? I tell the Ankylosaurus to kill him.
All right. So you you instruct it to walk forwards, and its head hovers near the hole, and its eyes like look down thirstily.
Yeah. No, I tell it to drink.
Okay, yeah. It dips its head down and begins taking drinks from the.
Well, William, may I pet your dinosaur?
Sure. I just would be treat it as you would any other large animal.
All right, I let it sniff my hand before I pet it.
It does not. Yeah, it doesn't seem to react to your presence.
All right. In that case, I give him a great big hug. Super cute.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right.
I mean, is it?
Yes, she is super cute. Something that you
Alright.
colonials wouldn't even understand.
I bet if Nick met a dinosaur, IRL, he
Impoverished sense of
wouldn't
beauty.
even care.
What?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, I bet if you met a dinosaur in real life, you wouldn't even care.
What are you talking about?
I mean, that's cold, man.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, I would love it because the first thing I'd do is look and see how close by Jeff Goldblum was, and
That's true. The only reasonable thing.
So you guys are still sort of high up. You're in like the foothills. You can see that sort of directly to your west. There seem to be a number of pools that are very colorful. There's a sort of steam rising off of them. By the way, the air is grown considerably warmer as you've descended. Also to your south, you see some forests and in the distance a farmland. Sort of the forests nearest to you are actually now that you're further down, seem to be very, very tall in terms of like the plant life there.
Okay.
Probably like 2 to 3 times the height of a tree that you would be familiar with.
okay. I don't know. They grow them pretty big on Tukalau, so
All right. Yeah. So I mean, I think with the ankylosaur having been fed and watered, I'll try to climb up into the saddle.
Yeah, sure. So you climb up on there, and it doesn't seem to react.
All right. And William says there's another space in the saddle if anyone wants to ride, and I'm afraid we'll probably have to move at a walking pace. Otherwise, I don't think we quite have enough room for everyone to be on here at a given time.
Does anybody else want to ride? It's not a cyborg.
No, not now. I think I'm okay with maybe not riding the dinosaur.
I'm already in the seat. It was like a courtesy question. I was like climbing halfway up when I asked if anybody else wants to go with this.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
Well, we'd wanted to find civilization, so I suppose that's what we'll make our way towards.
Continue
Wait,
towards
so-
the farm.
Yeah. So as
Although-
you head,
No,
we naming this guy?
I'm not sure we want to be like. Once we feel like we're getting close, I don't know if we want to be approaching with the presumably pretty unstealthy giant dinosaur.
I don't know. It seems to be a thing around here.
What if
I mean, maybe,
When-
but like,
when
We're
in
just trying to
Rome-
fit in.
but also like the dinosaur really had some problems with its previous owner, right? And like, for all we know, we could just be walking into a village of people similar to that person. So like, it might
Then
not
we'll-
be the smartest.
Then we'll
Oh,
deal
by the
with
way,
them.
I should have mentioned this before, but I'll get to it now. So as you entered the forest, you saw another corpse. This one battered as well, but maybe not quite as damaged as the one that was sort of taken apart by the.
What kind of
Can we
clothes are
examine it?
these bodies wearing?
So
If any.
so they're wearing sort of like spaceman clothing, basically, right? So it's sort of an orange jumpsuit with rings of metal around the joints. As you inspect the body, you can tell that it's sort of strange. It's got like it's a bit hairier than normal.
Okay.
So its head is sort of caved in, but you can tell that it's pretty hairy for a person.
Any like equipment?
So on it, you on the ground next to him, you find what looks like a rifle, and he's also got some kind of pistol on his belt,
Okay, I take the pistol.
as well as like a pack of what looked like some kind of food, although it's not like really technological.
I'll take the rifle, I guess. But so I guess my last question was whether there's any kind of identifying anything, like I don't know, their version of like a. I guess I look for like any kind of name tag or ID card or I don't know anything
Com badge.
to indicate
Walter
like
Cole too.
like obviously there's like they're like civilized if they have guns and jumpsuits and stuff like that. I'm just wondering if there's like a kind
He
of
doesn't
ID
have
or
a driver's
identifier.
license.
The suit doesn't say anything. Does it look like a uniform?
Does it look the same as the other one?
It looks similar, yeah. It's like a little bit of a different color.
But it
Is this guy also like quite large as well as being hairy?
This guy's more normal sized.
all right. We still have all of our equipment from before. We still have like a satellite phone. Take it there's no signal.
So the satellite phone, in fact, is not working anymore.
That's
Neither is
fine.
my smartphone with a little extra smart, probably.
What about what kind of rifles are these?
So these are like long, sort of silver-looking devices. As you like hold it up, its front sort of like pops open, and like you can see like a sort of crackling energy running along the length of the barrel. Between these two,
Same for the pistol.
Yep. I think kind of like a Stargate kind of a thing, like Go.
Okay.
So like I had like a pistol from like way back, like reality. I like take that out and inspect it to see if it.
Yeah. So it looks pretty worse for wear. It's kind of tarnished if it was like where it was shiny before and like scratched up. And it feels, as you hold it in your hand, it feels less solid.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess I'll hang on to the whatever this is, laser rifle.
I mean, I want to. Does the pistol seem to have any kind of ammunition that I can discern?
Yeah. So as you sort of look it over, it doesn't seem to have any ammunition.
Okay.
You can,
I want to just point it at like a tree trunk, not like super close to me. I don't know, a good like 10 yards off or
a
something.
good like 5 to 6 inches.
Yeah, like 10 yards off or something, and just see
Sure.
if I can squeeze the trigger at it.
Yeah, sure. So the trigger depresses, and like a crackling beam of electricity shoots out and like leaves a smoking hole in the tree.
Okay, but like a pistol bullet size hole kind of thing.
I mean, bigger.
Okay, but I didn't like blast the tree open.
No.
It was, okay. All right, interesting. Yeah, I definitely like holster that.
Careful there.
Well, I say like no point in having weapons to defend ourselves if we don't know that they work.
Didn't sound like Oliver Constantine said that.
Oh, sorry. Whatever. He said in a thick Tukalawan accent.
Oh God.
Yeah. Just worst time to find out your gun doesn't even work is when you're trying to shoot somebody because they're trying to kill you, right? It'd be pretty fucked up if somebody was shooting at me and I took this out to shoot them back, and I was like, oh fuck, it doesn't even work.
Still.
Then you did.
Right. All right,
Doesn't hurt
so
to be careful.
True.
all right, so what else?
I guess we
Oh,
continue.
so okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so basically, it looks like there are two routes to get to this farm. Oh, we're almost done, by the way. So let's decide, and then we'll pick up from here probably next time. But there's this very tall forest, and there's this sort of marsh, and they're both sort of to the south of you. You'll have to probably pass through either one or the other, unless you want to try to really go around. In which case, there's a marsh on the other side. But anyways, which route would you guys prefer to go through to get to these farmlands that you've seen? Which, by the way, are now not really visible. But Mika, you can see as somehow you marked that spot in your map, and you can you at least have like a waypoint towards it.
My internal compass.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of turn toward Tony and say, which route do you think is best?
So Tony looks around, and I reach down and I touch the ground, and I see if there's any like tracks that which way would have more people, if it's something that is doable.
All right, so as you are a hunter, I will allow you to make an intellect test 3.
Hunt that shit.
Intellect. Let's see if I have anything that will help me with that. I mean, I have tracking. How's that? No. All right, fine. I'll just use 3 then. To lower it by 1, making it difficulty 2.
Yep.
Success.
All right.
Is that a minor success or no?
Close enough. So we will say, the marshes are probably a little more dangerous in terms of terrain, right? Like you just walk into a pool of water, or like there could be like quicksand type situations. But this forest is a little unusual. Usually they don't grow quite this big, and that tends to attract creatures. You also know that this particular forest is filled with a very large variety of fruits, which have somewhat unusual properties.
Okay.
So,
I guess we'll head towards. I'll choose the direction of food, right? Like,
Food sounds good.
okay. All right. So, I guess William points forward. The dinosaur lurches forward. So, what is the demeanor of each character? As we only have a couple minutes left here, as they've taken their first steps into this savage land.
Oliver Constantine is like, how do I put it? Oliver Constantine's a little bit like overstimulated, right? He's not like freaked out by this place.
Lasers.
Well, that's kind of what it is, right? Like we've already seen some shit, so this isn't like holy fuck, like I'm losing my mind. There's like dinosaurs and laser beams, but it's a little like like gotta breathe, gotta like take this in again. Plus, like when he was going from the like Necromancer's Tower or whatever to here, he started feeling like a little bit off, and he feels like stuff just doesn't look right. So stuff doesn't seem right to him. So while he's like a little bit just like what's going on here, he's also kind of like not sure that he wants to tell his teammates here that he's feeling a bit off. So he's trying to just kind of like yeah totally, let's check out the laser beams and stuff.
All right, so we do not know Oliver Constantine's focus yet. Is that right?
I would say not. I
Okay,
guess.
fair enough. All right, Aaron.
Yeah, so I think William is actually really kind of enjoying the world so far. It fits better with what he grew up with than the previous one. I mean, not directly, but the previous world was closer, as we noticed, to World War One. I mean, obviously, the ridiculous aspects of any given world are going to be something to grapple with, but World War One was more his, parents, grandparents' generation, so it wasn't something he dealt with directly. But at this point, what he's interacted with so far is dealing with animals, which was something that he did on his estate growing up. And I think as a child, he very much fancied dinosaurs, and so getting a chance to interact with them is, kind of the whole thing is taking him back to his childhood, to a simpler time. Which is a great relief after a period of time spent essentially as a necromancer.
All right.
He doesn't love dinos.
So Tony seemed to be embracing this, right? Tony feels good about this world. This world has something that Tony, I don't know, he didn't feel like he was missing it before, but he definitely found it, whatever it was, right? This is a good world.
All right, fair enough. And Mika?
Right, so I think Mika's like a little on edge, she's kind of coming to terms with her newfound mechanical integration.
Yeah.
But she's kind of resolved to forge ahead, and I think in the back of her mind she's just maybe a little happy that the thirst for blood seems to have kind of subsided. I was getting
always a relief.
A little out of control, and perhaps in comparison, she's relieved that this world is, well, disturbing, not in the same way, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps you are not any more human, but you are now less vampire. So
that's true.
Perhaps a trade up. All right. Well, this has been Live from Beyond, the first episode of The Distant Shore, part 3. So if you have enjoyed what you've seen tonight by some trick or mistake on your part,
horrible mistake.
Horrible, grave error.
You can come check out our either YouTube channel or Twitch channel, depending where you're watching this. Anyways, we play
Compound your error, if you will.
Yeah, you can throw good money after bad by going to our YouTube channel, which is free. Anyways, we play every Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, and next week we will be playing the second episode of Distant Shore, and then continuing on. So thanks guys for playing. Thanks everybody for watching, and
thank you.
catch you all next week.
Yes, indeed.